Crush.
Good morning, everyone. We are Wednesday and it's 11:14. I'm sorry I'm 3 minutes late, but it's Wednesday and it's Crush Wednesday and very exciting. We are talking about a topic, skills versus passion. So what is more important? And I'm talking about skills versus passion within ourselves. What is more important? Welcome, we have our first one on. Thank you for joining us today. So skills versus passion within ourselves. Skills versus passion when perhaps we're a business owner and we're employing someone. What do we look for? And very important, skills versus passion, not just when we've been in something for 5 minutes, but when we've been in something for 15, 20 years. When we have the skills, what is more important? So we're going to be discussing that really quickly at 3 points. So thank you for joining us. And guys, this is something which I would love for you to comment on because I'd really love to hear your take on what is important and the way you deal with skills versus passion, what you look for. So John, hi, you're on. Thank you for joining us today on skills versus passion on Crush Wednesday. I'm just bringing up the other screen here. So give us a wave when you come on. Give us a love. Where are you coming from? Are you at work? Are you at home? Are you outside? Let us know and keep the comments rolling. So Pam, you're on, I can see. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. And also welcome if you're watching from replay. Love the thumbs up there, Pam. So guys, skills versus passion. My first question for you, for those that are watching right now, and if you're on replay, I'd love to know initially, that quick question, skills versus passion, what is your answer? What do you feel is more important? Good morning, Pam, I can see you there. So what do you feel is more important, skills or passion within yourself, in business, also when you're trying to employ someone, but also when you're trying to grow as well? What is more important? I love the laughing there. Holly, you're on. Thank you for joining us this morning. Sharon, you're on. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Skills versus passion. Pam, you've got an answer. You say both. Beautiful. What if you had to pick one? What if you had to pick one, skills versus passion? Now, I know it's a tricky question, so let's try and answer that together, guys. I'd love your feedback. So, they're both very important. Sharon, you've got passion. Great. Love that. So they're both very important. They both need each other. And you could say that one is not more important than the other. But there's an underlining one that if you don't have this, it doesn't help. You can't grow. And the underlining one also helps the other one. John Hyatt, you've got passion first, skills are nothing if you don't use it. And John, you're right. Sharon, you're right. Pam, you're right. It's both, but passion is the one that really is the underlining thing. And we have proof. You have proof in your life throughout all our years, even as a baby, that passion was the thing that overtook us. That was the first thing that we used. And we're built like that. So passion is the most important part of us when we're growing our business, when we're crushing our fitness marketing, when we're starting something new, when we are employing someone. I would always look for passion, and I'll explain why in a sec. So imagine when you start something, and I want you to comment here, guys. I love your comments and feedback. When you started something, when you started your business, and I think I know the answer. Michael, you're watching. Thank you for joining us here today on Skills vs. Passion, Crush Wednesday. So when you started your business or when you started something, what was the primary force that drove you? What was it? What was it? Was it skills or was it passion? Now, I know in my experience, and I'd love your answers here, guys, that skills were very low. And generally speaking, we go into something with skills very, very low. We don't know about it. I'm going to give you the example of being a baby and walking. When we were walking, did we have the skills? No. Then why did we get up? Why do we get up and take the first step? Why do we get up after we fall? Why do we get up and take the next step? What is it? You could call it passion. We want to do it. We have a passion for walking. We can see that we want to do it. It's the same with our business. Pam, you've got passion, 100%. Michael, you've got love of fitness. That's the passion. Passion is our initial inertia. It's our initial drive. It's the engine in the car that kind of starts us off. It's kind of it just gets us going. It's the initial push that keeps us going, that starts us off. So passion is the thing that starts. Knowledge as we go on, and as you can experience, guys, knowledge kind of we learn and we get better and we get better. And there's 3 points I'm going to make here, and guys, I'd love for you to help me here. So when we start, we have passion, and passion kicks us into learning. Okay, so we're going to pick up the books and we're going to learn, and I want you to think back to your business and when you started, passion was driving. At some point, you were probably even passion and knowledge, and then perhaps skills took over. There is an important point to make here, and it's just something to be aware of, that sometimes as we grow in business, we have to be cautious that our skills never outweigh our passion. It's very, very important. Because the moment your skills outweigh your passion is the moment we don't grow, the moment we can't crush what we want to do. This is crush your fitness marketing. How do we do that? We need to keep our passion alive. And the dangerous thing is, we get to a point in a lot of things in our life where we go, I know the knowledge, I've got the knowledge. I know how to walk now. You don't need to tell me how to walk, I know how to walk. I know how to do this. I'm a professional. I've been doing it 15 years. I've been doing it for 30 years. I've been doing it for 40 years. Our knowledge is so up there. We have to be cautious that our passion doesn't drop. That's probably one of the biggest things. And who can understand that? Who feels sometimes that their knowledge is so great? Who's ever said, oh, I know that. I'm aware of that. I've said it before. And that's the moment where I go, you know what? There's a rule here that I've learned over the last 12 years. I call it a rule, but it's a guideline. It's something I've kind of lived by in business, is that to grow, to crush everything, to move forward, not just at the beginning. It's easy at the beginning. Who would agree with me? Give me a thumbs or a like or a love if you feel at the beginning of something, it's easy to have that passion. We go, yeah, of course I don't know anything. I don't know anything, so that's fine. I've just got my passion and I'll learn things, But as we grow older, who's ever been in that situation where they've gone, I know this. What that does is it shuts us off from growing. And that's the most important thing. Our passion constantly needs to be, and this is why passion, I feel, is the most important. It constantly needs to be at the forefront. And not only that, we need to go into everything we do, and this is my golden rule, as I've just said. So if you're just joining us, we're talking about skills versus passion. What is the most important? We've looked at passion is the underlying thing. And when we go into something after years, our skills raise. We have to ensure our passion doesn't. But something I've gone into is whenever you go into anything in business, anything in life, always pretend you don't have the knowledge. And what I mean by that is go into something, what can I learn here? How can I gain more knowledge? Always, how can I gain more knowledge? I don't know it. I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe there's something I'm missing here. Maybe I can tweak it. Maybe I can do it a different way. If we want to crush what we do, if we want to grow, we've got a love heart there. I love that. Thank you, guys. If we want to grow and we want to move forward, we constantly have to be, if you want to use the word pretending, or we constantly have to go into something, if that helps, go into something knowing, I don't know. There's something I can learn here. What can I learn? We are constantly growing our minds. So we constantly have that knowledge, and the passion is going to be there, because when we learn, that creates passion as well. Who would agree with that? We learn something new, it reinvigorates us. I'll give a little example, if I may. So, about 4 years ago, I started training to be a pilot, and I was at the beginning. So where was my skills? At zero. I literally knew nothing. Okay, my passion was up here. Okay, my skills down here. So I started to learn skills and, skills. I didn't fly for a while, and it was about 3 months or something, and I got back into it. And where did my passion go? It went down. Have you ever had that feeling where you go, do I have to get up? Your passion's dropped. I got back into it. I started to learn again. What happened with my passion? It shot straight up back to where it was. Learning will keep increasing your passion. Natasha asked, does this benefit me and my business? Yes. Does it benefit me? We always go into something, so just to summarize that, we always go into something, and I'd love your thoughts on this. When you go into something new, do we go into something? We've got to go into it thinking, what can I learn from here? I'm back to square one. Go into something and just be so humble that you know nothing. Back to square one. That relearning of that knowledge is not only going to increase your knowledge, it's going to increase your passion. They're going to go hand in hand. And that's what I found out when I got back into flying after 3 months. My passion was down. And I knew I needed to do this. But once I started learning again, or when I get back into the books, my passion goes up. Isn't that funny? Passion and skills, yes, they're hand in hand, but we need that passion. So always go into something thinking, what can I learn from here? And the other thing I wanted to point out in this topic, guys, is, as I said, it's very easy to look at this when you're new. I was a new pilot. I didn't know anything. Of course, I'm going to learn. You're new in your business. You've got the passion. You're going to learn the skills. But let me ask you this: who's been in business more than 5 years? Give me a number down below. How many years you've been in business? Just put 5, 10, 15, 20 in your current business, in currently what you're doing. How many years you've been in business? Because it's very difficult as we move further along to really understand. We need to understand this skills versus passion and how it actually affects our growth. And this is very important. So comment below how long you've been in business. Because as we move forward, what we find is that the longer we've been in business, as we've said, Natasha, 1 year. So I think your passion's quite high, which is great. But after a year, and look at where you've come from day zero to now. Yeah, Michael, 2 years, day zero to now. Look at the difference. Imagine being in business another 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. How will you feel? When we want to grow our business and not start something new, we just want to grow. We need to put ourselves back into day zero. Back into day zero to continue to grow. Passion is the most important thing in the underlining thing here. But to grow, whether we're at day 1, whether we're at year 15, year 20, no matter where we're at, we always need to understand that we constantly need to put ourselves back into that prime state where we were when we started. Natasha, Michael, how did you feel when you started your business? Anyone on here today and you're watching in replay, when you started, how did you feel? How did you feel when you started your business? How much passion did you have? Loads of passion. Natasha, been through a stroke and a heart attack. Goodness. Surgery and have more passion now. That's massive, Natasha. Passion. It's what drives us. It's what we miss. So we have to be cautious about 2 things. One, as we move on in business, that our passion doesn't drop. How do we do that? Natasha, you were scared when you started. And that was because that was the fear. That was the fear, and this is important. That was the fear through probably lack of knowledge. And this is where passion is so important. If we want to grow in year 15, in year 20, in year 25 of our business, a lot of the time I hear people all the time go, I just don't know, I need to get it right. Because we've been in business for so long, we get into this mode that we're an expert and we know what we're doing. So if I want to grow, then I need to kind of understand. I need to really be an expert. It's wrong. We need to go back to day one. We constantly need to be understanding. Passion is the most important. Knowledge will come. If we want to grow our business, 10 times our business, how are we going to do that? Passion is the most important, and knowledge will come. Always the way we need to work. So they're probably the two biggest things, skills versus passion. Biggest thing I want you to remember is moving forward is to understand how passion exists, and always be aware that your passion is up there. How do you get your passion up there? Through constantly learning. That's going to increase your passion, and constantly reminding yourself of what you do. And when we want to grow our business, when we want to take our business to the next level, you don't need to be an expert. You weren't an expert in day one. You don't need an expert in year 15. We're always going to wanting something that we don't know the knowledge yet. And it's always going to be the case that passion is going to drive us. Now, the scary thing is, if you don't have the passion, then you're not going to want to gain the knowledge. But always remember, you don't need to have that knowledge right up front, especially in year 20 when we want to grow. You will get there and we will grow, but we need the passion to keep moving us forward and to keep that knowledge from growing. So guys, I wanted to keep it short today, but passion versus knowledge, it's one of the biggest things I think sometimes we need to understand as we move forward in business. We constantly need to understand we're new at this. And the only thing that's going to move us forward is passion, and with passion we will gain knowledge. So there's a golden rule I always stuck with in growing business, and what it was 80%. So if I'm kind of 80% there in knowledge, because remember by year 10, you do have a lot of knowledge. If I want to grow, if things are about, it's not 100%, you don't need to be. If it's about 80%, keep moving forward. Keep using the passion to drive you, and the knowledge will come. All right, thank you guys. Thank you for joining me. Any questions, guys? I love questions. Pam, Sharon, John, thank you for joining me. Natasha, thank you for commenting there. Natasha, you left the police force for PT. So clearly passion was the driver there. I had a massive career change, and the thing that drives that is passion. So constantly, and this is where change is good. If you're a hater of change, change is good, because what it does is it kind of moves you into a state where you know nothing, and you have to be driven by passion. That's harder if we're in the same business for a long time. So we're always got to move ourselves into a state where we're fresh, we're young, we don't know anything, we're learning. Natasha, life growing and learning, passion drives this. Thank you so much, inspiration. Thank you, Natasha. I love that. I always say if I can give one piece of value today, well then that's great. So listening to this, if you're watching this on replay, comment below what is the one thing you picked up on today. What is the one thing you've is going to take with you? Passion versus skills, passion versus knowledge, whatever way we want to put it. Passion is the underlying force that is going to take us to the place where we want to go, and knowledge will come. Knowledge will come. Thank you guys. Have a great morning, and I will see you next time. Cheers.
Crush.